So I've been over here going like, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to say it? How am I going to intro to all this stuff? Honestly, I don't have the experience on how to intro into a video other than I need to catch up with everything that's happened in the last month. So a friend of mine called me up and he was like, hey, I need a BTS videographer for a documentary that I'm filming. He's actually directing it. And this was happening, he told me this like right before October. And that's why in October I barely posted anything. It was because I was working on that most days. I'm gonna bring this a little closer. It's because I was working on that for most days. And if I wasn't working on the documentary, which was an hour away from home to drive, I would come home. I wouldn't come home. I would come to work, and then I would work at the shop, and then I would go home and sleep, and then rinse and repeat. And there was a couple days I was able to work out. Couple days I wasn't able to work out. Oh man, battery low. Oh yeah. Hot swap batteries. Okay, so we're good to go. But the month of October was really busy. So if I wasn't at work on this documentary, I was at work at the shop, and then in the times that I could, I was going to the gym. The weekends, I was just trying to relax. But that's over. It didn't wrap permanently. It's not done. There's just some stuff happening that they got to get resolved for the story, actually. So that's pretty good. But in the meantime, I was searching through Facebook Marketplace like I normally do, and I bought me a set of Minolta lenses for $100. Sorry for that. I bought a set of Minolta lenses for $100. Look at that. Look at that. And I've got this 58mm f 1.4 that I want to shoot with. It has a pretty interesting flare. It looks like a thruster, not thruster, like an afterburner. Let me put that up. But it has a pretty interesting flare. It looks like an afterburner. So that's pretty cool. If you guys also remember, I may have spoken some couple of weeks ago on a documentary that I'm making personally with Ellie and a couple of filmmaking friends of mine. The documentary is about a friend of mine, William Thacker, who last year placed third place in the world when it came to bench pressing. Yo, it's hot right now. Anyway, so November 8th and 9th was the competition, Veterans Day Open in Savannah, and he placed first place in his category, and Bryson placed first place and third place in two categories that he was in. So that was really cool. And I got some footage of that. I took my Blackmagic, my Mamiya lenses. I brought the S5 and a GoPro, and I had the S5 set to kind of get like a wide of the stage, and I had a GoPro off to the side, and then I was kind of like floating on the other side, getting as whatever close-ups I could. I used the Mamiya 80mm, and I just got what I could. I don't know how that competition stuff works. So I'm not going to say what happened, specifics. I'm going to show a couple of clips. They may be graded to a certain amount, but not a whole lot. But moving into the next stage of that documentary is I'm talking to a couple of friends of mine on their schedule, their availability, so I can film the interview with Will. Because after that, it'll be like done and ready for the edit. But the issue now that I'm having now is that I'm realizing that is not the true finish of the film. I think the true end of that film would be world competition. You know, where he competes at the world level. So yeah, last year that was in Japan. Your boy doesn't have Japan flight money. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But to go back to the Minolta lenses, I want to try and shoot something strictly on Minolta lenses, like a short film. Ellie and I went to a couple places in Savannah, and there was a little vintage shop, and I bought, well, actually Ellie got it, a 135 Super Takumar f3.5 lens, and I already have a 50mm, and I impulse bought a 28 f3.5, so I'll have 3 of those lenses, and I'm gonna try and shoot something with those also. I think it'd be kind of cool to do so. And random, I've got DaVinci 17 installed, the beta software. And so I'm going to edit this whole video in a rush tonight because Friday I need to try and shoot an interview bit with James Townsend for also the documentary. And which brings me to the last bit. Today I filmed with Michael Brown, Robert Wales, I think also is his name. They work with Kodak in Atlanta in the film processing, and I got to start seeing more like behind the scenes of what they do to process film. And I'm going to try and make another video. I'm going to try and make a video specifically on that, and I have an idea of what I want to do when it comes to like a little short that I want to make with them. But I need to learn how to use this Bolex 16mm camera first. So I may try and make another video on me messing around with that camera. So a lot of stuff in the works. I got to keep working still at Gerber because healthcare is nice. But yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. Got a lot of work to do. Got the S5. Taking a bunch of photos and stuff like that. But anyway, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff that I just talked about, whether it be the documentary from Will or the Kodak film or short films that I'm going to be making, subscribe, like the channel if you like it. If you don't, tell me why you don't like it. And if you think I can improve in something, also, I know this lighting's a little whack, but I was trying to make something I could go quickly. This room is where I edit and I try and chill, and I'm going to try and make something later with hanging some lights from above so I can just have that more of a permanent fixture. But if you, whatever, I'm adapting. I changed the space. All right, I'm done rambling. I'm going to edit this. Check out this lens. Also, I was having an issue with the other mic because, and so I went to Audio-Technica mic. And I turn on that I turn on this little light back there to give it just a little bit of depth. I really hope you guys can't hear that noise. All right, peace.